Governor Chukwuma Soludo has come for a total turnaround maintenance of the Anambra State economy and promotion of core Igbo values. Let's give him maximum support for the tax ahead. Good morning and welcome to the news. My name is Chidima Orangwa. Those who benefited from the Anambra State government oil palm and coconut seedlings distribution have pledged to support the initiative to facilitate optimal productivity across the state. The stakeholders, such as principals of secondary schools and heads of institutions where these seedlings were planted, made the commitment during inspection visit by the team from the State Ministry of Agriculture to assess the performance of distributed seedlings across the state. We have details of this report from our studio.
In their separate comments, the Vice Principal of Community Secondary School, Ajali, Mr. Ben Mado, said that the school has recorded success using the correct planting techniques, applying organic manure and constant watering of the plants. According to him, constant caring for the plants will guarantee survival of the plants as they hoped to make income from the produce. For the principals of Holy Cross High School, Umuawolo Mbauku, Mrs. Amaka Anekwe, and her community secondary school, Obu counterpart, Sister Stella Mary Nwafo, they will sustain strategies to ensure the survival of the seedlings at all costs. They lauded government for supplying them with the seedlings in its bid to move the people from oil to agricultural economy, noting that in less than 4 years, there will be mass coconut production in the state, which had never been witnessed in the history of the state. Commending them for their efforts so far, the State Commissioner for Agriculture, Dr. Foster Ihejiofo, who spoke through the technical assistant and leader of the inspection team, Mr. Ifeanyi Nwebu, reiterated government's commitment to continue to strengthen measures aimed at boosting the productivity of the produce. He thanked schools, institutions and communities that have recorded immense success so far and called for more efforts for some beneficiaries to ensure survival of the seedlings as government spent so much to produce them.
As part of efforts to ensure timely and regular payment of taxes, Operation Clean and Healthy Anambra Ocha Brigade has unveiled a special enforcement team, also known as SET. Chibuzo Obidike filed on this report, taken from here.
Unveiling the enforcement team at the agency corporate headquarters in Oka, the managing director and chief executive officer of the agency, Comrade Celestine Anere, revealed that the move is in line with Professor Chukwuma Soludo's vision on ridding the state of touts and illegal revenue collectors from the state and to ensure that citizens and organizations pay their taxes as and when due. Continuing, Comrade Anere noted that the enforcement team is charged with the responsibility of ensuring that the state is livable, healthy, and tax compliant, encouraging the team to ensure strict compliance to all government policies and guidelines and shun victimization of any kind. For the public relations officer of the agency, Mr. Anthony Onyekwelo, every member of the team has a unique number tag for ease of identification, which will help the agency tackle the issue of misconduct and ensure sanity in their operations. Mr. Onyekwelo used the occasion to encourage the youths to enroll in the state government One Youth Two Skills initiative program, as any person caught in any touting activity will be dealt with.
A 3-day intensive training of Anambra youth on digital skills have commenced in Oka, Anambra State. The Digital Skill Acquisition Program tag NIDA Digital Economy and Employability Program DEEP targets exposing the youth of Anambra State on the ample opportunities in digital skills and ICT. Correspondent Valentine Mbado filed this report.
Through the special advisor to the governor on youth empowerment program, Dr. Nelson Omenoga is partnering the National Information Technology Development Agency (NITDA) to host the program in Anambra State for the youths. Speaking at the opening ceremony, Dr. Omenoga said that the whole idea revolves around the effort and determination of Mr. Governor, Professor Charles Soludo, to equip and empower Anambra youth to become useful at home and exportable abroad. He emphasized that the program will not just expose the youth to opportunities embedded in digital economy, but will prepare them for successful digital employability journey, noting that the opportunity connects one to rich pool of learning resources and enhances self-paced learning. Dr. Menoa encouraged the participants to maximize the opportunity as it also enables them to jumpstart digital marketing and emerging entry-level roles. He confirmed that on completion, participants will be awarded 2 certificates from Google and NITDA.
Understand that personal development, professional development is the way. The training, the understanding, what you have within you is something that nobody can take away from you.
The training has over 100 Anambra youth in attendance.
Goods worth millions of naira was yesterday evening gutted by fire in a shop situated on the second floor of TN Uzoka Plaza, Ekoka. The incident, which also affected the rooftops of some shops at the same floor, was contained following the quick response of the Anambra State Fire Service. Correspondent Emmanuel Chiwata reports that the affected shop was stocked with phone accessories, including batteries that were highly explosive. His report.
As at the time of filing this report, the cause of the fire incident is yet to be ascertained, but initial predictions suggest it might be from a power surge. Speaking with the Managing Director of the Anambra State Fire Service, Chief Martins Agbili, said that at about 7:25 p.m. yesterday, he got a distress call that the fire is gutting the plaza and he immediately deployed the state firefighters to save the situation. He disclosed that on their arrival, the shop that contained different kinds of phone accessories was completely burnt, but with efforts of the firefighters, they were able to extinguish the fire and prevented it from affecting other shops, but it affected some roofings. In appreciation, Chief Agbili thanked the public for fighting the fire before the arrival of the state firefighters and also urged the residents of Anambra to always contact the fire service during emergencies. The chairman of TN Uzoka Plaza, Chief Victor Okechukwu, explained that he went to see his brother that evening when he noticed what was happening and then called for intervention.
The federal government has apologized to the flying public over the strike and backed upon by the National Union of Air Transport Employees and Air Transport Service Senior Staff Association of Nigeria and Air Transport Services Senior Staff Association of Nigeria, vowing that it will not happen again. Recall that on Monday, local and international flights were disrupted for several hours as a result of the strike. Fielding question from State House correspondents at the Presidential Villa, Minister of Aviation Hadi Sirika described the action as wrong, inhuman and against the law, vowing that the enforcement of the law recently assented to by the President Muhammadu Buhari has begun in earnest. Sirika explained that the FAN Act signed into law by President Buhari last year prohibits industrial action and riots in the aviation sector. The federal government of Nigeria has counted diphtheria, meningitis, Lassa fever, cholera, and COVID-19 as some infections or diseases presently circulating in the country. Speaking at the ministerial press briefing on update on COVID-19 response and development in the health sector, the Minister of Health, Dr. Sagi Ehanire, described diphtheria as a vaccine-preventable diseases that can be curbed if the populace takes the necessary vaccination. He decried the spate of fake news also circulating in the social media, which according to him is capable of causing panic, whereas those who created the chaos are unperturbed. The health minister said the health matters are joint responsibility of the government at all levels, community and the individual, adding that the federal government has fulfilled its parts. In his speech, the Director of Planning, Research and Statistics of the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency, Dr. Garoba Bulama, revealed the country targeted vaccinating at least 70% of the eligible population of 18 years and above with COVID-19 vaccine, but as at the 20th of January 2023, it had fully vaccinated 52.2% eligible persons with the vaccine, while 66.4% eligible persons have taken at least one dose of the vaccine, while a total of 10,390,911 persons have received a booster dose. According to him, 13 states have so far achieved the 70% and above full vaccination of their eligible population, while 16 other low-performing states have less than 40% coverage. Just as 7 states have less than 20% full vaccination coverage. The Director General of the Nigeria Center for Disease Control and Prevention, NCDC, Dr. Ifedayo Adetifa, represented by his Director Special Duties, Dr. Priscilla Ibekwe, urged Nigerians to join the fight and control and prevent infectious diseases nationally. Dr. Deborah Beatrice Ogenegori of the Department of Hospital Services said, in collaboration with all the agencies under the case management strengthening activities, there are plans to use the COVID-19 response mechanism funds for training of healthcare workers on diagnosis and management of infectious diseases, emergency preparedness and mitigation strategies, as well as relevant modules are being developed to support frontline health workers. And on the foreign scene, Japan and South Korea are searching for 9 crew members of a cargo ship that capsized in rough weather. Japanese and South Korean media say 13 members of the crew were rescued after the 6,551-ton Jintian sank off the coast of Japan's Nagasaki. 5 of the crew were picked up by nearby vessels, while 8 were later rescued by the Japanese and South Korean Coast Guards. Japanese officials said 14 crew members on the Hong Kong registered ship are Chinese and 8 are from Myanmar. There were no immediate word on what caused the Jintian, which was carrying lumber, to capsize. Over now to sports. The draw for the UEFA Nations League semi-final has been announced on Wednesday. UEFA disclosed this in a post via its website on Wednesday morning. The Netherlands will face Croatia on Wednesday, 14 June in Rotterdam. Spain will clash with Italy on Thursday, 15 June in Enschede. The match for third place will take place on Sunday, 18th June. The final will also take place on Sunday. Family members, friends and well-wishers have bid to late Michael Tochukwu Okonkwo of Enugu Njikoka Council area farewell. The burial ceremony of the deceased, who died at the young age of 34 in a ghastly motor accident on the 24th of December 2022, took place at his father's compound at Enoje village of Enugu Njikoka local government area. Correspondent David Ndife covered the event, taken from here.
Funeral service, which attracted people from all walks of life, including business associates and political office holders, commenced with a holy mass at St. Anthony's Catholic Church, Enugu, officiated by the rector, St. John Bosco Seminary, Isuaniosha, Reverend Father Jude Mokwe, assisted by other visiting priests. In a homily, Reverend Father Ekene Eduzo, while describing the late Michael as a responsible gentleman, charged Christians to be steadfast in their race and live a worthy life and be ready for the return of the Lord at any given time. He encouraged them to bear the loss with fortitude, having hope in the promise of resurrection, and prayed for the repose of his soul. Acknowledging the deceased as a respected personality, the Zenith Labour Party candidate for Dunukofia Federal House of Representatives, Barrister Valentine Anyeka, described the late Michael as a hard-working and promising young man, describing his death as a great loss to the entire Enugu community, and called on youths to be good ambassadors wherever they find themselves, and prayed for God to grant his soul eternal rest.
I'm here to commiserate the family who was a very young, promising man, for us to, pay him the last respect. And my prayer is that God will accept his soul in resources.
In their separate speeches, the brothers and relatives of the deceased, Sir Anthony Okonkwo, Mr. Paul Okonkwo, and Mr. Obum Okonkwo of the ABS portrayed their late brother as a peacemaker, a loving man whose passion for humanity and charity was unparalleled, lamenting that his death is a great loss to the family while wishing him eternal rest in the Lord.
Christmas na on Christmas gospel on one we are no bonus even the bonus aboro ihe mbawo bi na ise no na aka na nyapo ogu we pula yi bi fe na lo la yi ni na mana ya manje na ogu echi ayi wo bi aka ise na ya se ka chufu na banda mo bi ana no na.
For his former classmates at Community Secondary School Umuopu 2008 set, including Comrade Chinedu Nwana, the death of Onowu Nagana, as he was popularly called, has left an indelible mark in their hearts and prayed for God to grant the family the fortitude to bear the loss. ABS OAP Mr. Onyekachukwu Ugochukwu led the ABS delegation of the Programs Department to pay condolences to the family. Some other dignitaries and groups that attended the funeral ceremony were Honorable Okechukwu Shibo, St. Anthony's Catholic Church Youth Association, Enuoji Youth Association, Umuopu Women Association of Enuguku, and Umuada Imo Association of Enuguku Wing, among others.
And that's just about it on the news. But remember that you can follow ABS from any parts of the world by liking our Facebook page at ABS Radio Television Oka. Subscribe to our YouTube page at ABS Television Oka. Follow us on Instagram at ABS Radio TV. Log on to our website at www.absradiotv.com. And now our top stories again. Anambra State government has received more accolades in all palm coconut seedling distribution initiatives. Intensive training for Anambra youth on digital skills have commenced in Oka.